All right. So, you guys see the title of the video. Is Sean Strickland correct about male MMA coaches dating their female students? Is it inherently predatory? I thought this would be a good topic for our platform, being that we do have Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party that Mrs. Evil right here, she does take a part in co-hosting, and we do pay attention to the lady fighters and what happens in their corners. So Sean Strickland is a fighter in the middleweight division. He has a lot of controversial things to say, and he weighed in on what he believes is predatory behavior on the part of some MMA coaches. So Aspen Ladd is dating a coach of hers, and Thug Rose Namajunas, who is the current, I believe she is the current strawweight champion at 115. She is also romantically involved with her coach. At some point in the past, I believed that they were married, and maybe they don't, but they do live together. I thought that this would be a good topic to talk about because, it is causing a bit of stir in the MMA community, and we hear. So we talked about this a little bit before. Do you believe that just the practice of a coach dating his female student, do you think that is inherently predatory?
I don't. That statement alone, I don't think it's inherently predatory. I think that the argument or the debate is in really the age gap. Because he only pointed out the two that have a relationship with their coach, but also have a large age gap.
Right.
And I don't know who's dating who, but I'm sure they're not the only two who are dating their coach and or married to their coach,
right,
or married to their coach. So I don't know the age differences of other female fighters with their coaches, but no one else was pointed out besides two that have a large age gap.
Right. Michelle, the Karate Hate Watterson, she is married to her coach, her head coach. I don't know if they started out as a teacher-pupil relationship and then progressed into something more intimate, but that is the truth of their relationship. They are a married couple. I think they have at least one child together. Some people looked at Mr. Strickland's comments and he said, well, let's do a little bit of digging into this. And there is a lot of amateur investigation going into whether or not this coach was coaching Aspen Ladd. The is past the age of 40 and is, some...
Jim West
is the Aspen Ladd's coach and boyfriend. And there is a lot of discussion about, when he started coaching her and when the romantic relationship began. Nobody's, Aspen Ladd's parents are not calling for an investigation. Aspen Ladd herself certainly isn't calling for an investigation. So we don't really know what that age gap was when they started.
And in my just very quick Google search in an attempt to be at least somewhat informed to have this conversation, there are different articles with a different timeline. So part of the reason why I can't really say either way if it was good or bad or predatory or not, is because one might claim that they met when she was 12. Another might claim that they met when she was 17. But then they're saying she may have started MMA when she was 12 or started MMA when she was 17. But that doesn't mean that she met him at the time. Just that she began practicing her style of mixed martial arts at that age. And that there was also something about him already being married when they met. And I also don't want to spread any rumors or say what happened or didn't happen. The truth is I don't know. And I don't think anyone knows besides the two of them and probably her parents. So just based off the little information I know, is it possible that it was predatory? I'm not going to say, no, it's not possible, because it's absolutely possible. But I don't have enough information to say he's a bad dude and he was a predator and he preyed on her.
Well, a lot of people were saying that he was a bad dude because of the way he talked to her in the corner, where you and we covered that on Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party, which you can find right here on the Talking Shit podcast. You know, we covered that fight and we noted that the hype was like really high, that UFC put a lot of hype into her. She was supposed to be, you know, one of the next, you know, possible, you know, greatest female fighters of all time. She was supposed to be a candidate for that. And we noticed that her focus during the fight, she looked like she was walking in quicksand from the very beginning. And we were wondering what the fuck was going on with her. Because we expected her to win that fight. The cameras were on, you know, what was going on in the corner. She was already down 3 rounds. You know, you're headlining a UFC card. You know, your hands are frozen. Her hands were frozen. Like, what are you doing? You know, attempting takedowns from halfway across the cage. It just did not look like she was all there. And his comments were that he didn't think that, you know, technical coaching would have helped her there. She was already down 3 rounds in a 5-round fight. She needed to get a finish, and in order to get a finish, she was going to need to step up, and she was going to have to find some kind of focus and then find a way to either knock out or submit her opponent. And it just did not look like she had it in her that day. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary as far as the way that he was talking to her in the corner. And when we see other male fighters, they are not performing up to the level that their coaches know that they can perform at.
Yeah.
And we see that they have some very harsh words for them. You know, get your fucking head in the game.
Yeah. And also, I was just making sure I have her age correct. So she is 27. So let's say possibly that they met when she was 17. I don't know if that's a fact.
That'll be 10 years.
We're just going to use that for the sake of this argument. So they should have known each other for 10 years. And if he was a coach for her for most of that time, then I am expecting that he knows what words and how to speak to his fighter, depending on the situation.
Right.
So it is possible that depending on her personality, there are some times where maybe she needs a little more of a gentle hand, and that there are other times where she needs more of that fire of, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Get back out there and do what you need. A little tough love. I personally know that there are certain times where I need someone to just hold my hand and be like, it's gonna be okay. Let me help walk you through this. And there are other times where I need someone to tell me, what the fuck are you doing? You know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, let's just use the car, for example. There were some times where I needed a little coddling and you sitting next to me as I drove the car.
Right.
And then other times I needed to be like, I'm not sitting in the car, go drive the fuck. I mean, he didn't curse when he said it.
Right.
But, you know, and I find that I talk to myself in that way sometimes too. Is it good or not? I feel like that could open up a whole other conversation and a whole other segment about, you know, good self-talk and bad self-talk and negative and positive consequences of that. I feel like that's just opening up a can of worms. But I can see a need for tough love.
Right. And I believe that if you watch that fight, you definitely can see that there was going to be no technical coaching that was going to be effective. It was not an issue of the game plan not working and needing to be adjusted on the fly. She just wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a mental thing.
Yeah. And sometimes you just need to let people know. And, you know, me as a coach myself, you know, there are times where I have to let my clients kind of feel their feelings. And there are other times I'm like, yo, you got to tighten up your focus. This is unacceptable. You know what to do. You know how to move. You know how to lift. You know what to do. You're just not doing it. And you need to get your head in the game. All of the cues that I could ever give them are not going to have anywhere near the desired effect. And you can tell that mentally they're just not in the game. And so I didn't really have a problem with the way he spoke to her, but a whole bunch of people who do not know their relationship and their dynamic had a whole lot to say about the way he was talking to her.
Mhm.
And I think that there is a lot of people in society today that is really, really tired of having people, talk to them about how they should run their relationship or how they should interact with their partners or their wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or husband in these situations. So whether or not you believe that their relationship was appropriate or not is immaterial. I think that a lot of people had a lot of things to say, but with not a whole lot of knowledge of the natural dynamic between the two of them.
And I think if there is legit concern about her possibly being prey, I mean, I also don't want anyone to get the impression that we are advocating for anyone to not say anything if they feel like someone is in, danger or is prey. But just from what happened so far and the facts that from what we've seen and what we do know, I feel like I need more information to be able to say if she was prey or not. I did not see enough for me to be overly concerned and think there's something going on there that's wrong and someone should probably check on her.
Right.
Check on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if something comes out that something fucked up happened, then we'll talk about that. There's also a possibility that she just needed some tough love. And he didn't want his lady to lose a fight that he was absolutely confident that she should have won.
Yeah, and I think that, again, we don't know them personally, but we do know that Aspen Ladd does have talent. And, there was a reason why Vegas picked her to win that fight. So as far as whether or not it's predatory, back in 2015, I dated one of my students for several months. I did not initiate that relationship at all. So again, we don't really know what the dynamic is or what led to that kind of situation. But one of the things we do know is that women are naturally attracted to men that are able to lead. And what better way to lead than to impart knowledge and to do it effectively in a palatable way where the woman feels like she is being bettered by the dynamic between her and the coach. There have been times where I've had to coach you on different things. What would you say about, of course, we didn't meet as pupil and student, obviously, mm-hmm. but when it comes to certain situations where you may need a little bit of guidance from myself, what kind of effect do you believe it has on your standing in our relationship, how you view our relationship, how you view me as a mate figure and as a coach figure in certain situations?
I'd say that the coaching has evolved over time. It's not what it was in the beginning because you were also a young coach and still new to it. But I would say that over time, as you got better at being a coach, I would say that my trust in you increased over the years in seeing you as a coach with other people and then you coaching me in different ways. So I'd say that it does strengthen the bond and it does help build trust over the years. And I trust, not that I didn't trust you before, but the trust is stronger today than it was before. From a fitness standpoint, I'm more confident in what I'm doing downstairs. And in the moments where I'm like, I'm not sure, I think I need Dr. Eva to come help me out with this, I'll do the stuff that I am confident in because you are the person who helped me with those movements or, that task or whatever I'm doing to help me build that confidence in that helps build trust.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. I've said many, many times over the years that a woman values security more than anything. Now, what she views as security may vary from woman to woman. But when you're talking about that trust that is forged between a male and a female, regardless of how that trust is formed, regardless of the circumstances or the dynamic. That trust is going to inherently lead to her having more of an attraction for him, regardless of the circumstances. So again, we don't really know if he was targeting her as somebody that he wanted to get involved with, or was she trying to endear herself to him because of that natural human instinct on the part of the young woman, where the more that she trusts him, the more that she's going to be into him.
We also don't know what conversation they had afterward, as they, self-reflect after that. I'm sure he was very emotional and, obviously riled up. We don't know what he said after.
Right.
Maybe he felt that he was too harsh. That's completely possible. It's possible that afterward he was like, my bad. I felt like you needed that, and I'm sorry if I was too harsh. Or maybe he didn't say that. We have no idea what was said after.
Well, we do. Well, he did. Well, we do know.
I have no idea what was said after because I didn't read that. I will.
Right.
I do clarify.
Well, I'll clarify for you.
Okay.
He said publicly, he said the public apologies to get people off his back.
Mm-hmm.
But Aspen Ladd made it very clear that she didn't need anybody to cape for her. Mm. She didn't have any problem with the way that she was being spoken to. In fact, one of the what they call it, the Karen of MMA, Misha Tate. She is known as the Karen of MMA. She definitely is the pumpkin spice latte in September of the UFC.
Oh yes, I remember, because that last fight, it was like girlfriends hanging out to get their nails done instead of two people going to fuck each other up. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yes. And so she had a lot of that SJW left-wing garbage coming out of her face on it, and Aspen Ladd was just like, listen, I will sign the contract to fight this woman, and you don't have to pay me for it. You do not have to pay me for the opportunity to punch her in the face. Aspen Ladd did not have a problem with the fact that her man took up the man role, the traditional man role, gave her a little bit of tough love that she knew that she needed. And you can also tell she did not change coaches. She did not change fight camp. She still continues to stick with this coach. We've seen weak-ass minded male fighters like Johnny Walker blame the coaches after a loss and then run to a different camp and then lose over there too. She stuck with her man. She stuck with her coach that got her to the big time because of the trust that she has for him, that they have forged together, and that he has earned according to her standard. Thug Rose Namajunas is a 2-time UFC champion with her coach slash boyfriend slash fiance slash soon-to-be husband. So I do think that it is a legitimate conversation to have concerning whether or not it is ethical for a coach to be involved with a student. There is an ethical question about whether or not managers and bosses should be able to be in intimate relationships with subordinates, people that they have a direct effect over the trajectory of their career advancement. And so while you and I may not believe that it is necessarily unethical, there are a lot of questions that people are raising. So, I think it's great to get the opinion of the esteemed Mrs. Evil over here, and trying to get to the bottom of this question. But you know what? Our opinions aren't the only ones that matter. We want to know from you guys,
and are just that, just opinions.
Yep, we are in fact talking shit, right? So for TSP, Dr. Evil here. Mrs. Evil there. Mm-hmm. Tell us in the comment section below what your opinions are on the subject. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.